Welcome to Yogaru Online. In this practice, we're going to work on the immune system through our practice and through how we move to support it through particular yoga poses and particular ways of moving, flowing movements and pumping actions and things that are going to work the circulation. So the lymphatic system is the transport system of the immune system. So we're going to work into that today. And it transports white blood cells around the whole body. It balances fluids, it regulates the immune system, and it also removes toxins from the body. Now, unlike the circulatory system, the lymphatic system doesn't have pumps like, the heart, and it doesn't have valves. So it relies on muscle contractions and movements to get the lymph flowing. So that's why our yoga practice can be very helpful for supporting the lymphatic system. And it's also important to note that the body is incredibly clever. It can sufficiently do it itself, but there's no harm in giving it a little extra hand, particularly when it comes to supporting the immune system. Okay, so we're going to start lying on our backs in this practice. So if you have a rolled up blanket, we'll need that. And if you have a brick, but don't worry, if you don't have a brick, you can use the rolled up blanket in its place. So starting on our backs. And we're just going to do a few rounds of bridge and then straight into hugging the knees. So just if you have a look up at me and I'll explain it to you. So inhale, let's set our foundation first. So you have your feet planted into the ground there, they're hip distance apart, and your shoulder blades are kind of planted onto the ground there to be kind of your brakes as you lift your hips up. So on your inhale, plant your hands into the ground there, lift the hips up, start of your practice, no expectations of how high they're going to go. And then on your exhale, you're going to bring your knees into your chest and just place the hands on the knees and draw them gently towards your chest. I don't think at the start of your practice, hugging them in maybe isn't what your hips want. If hugging in is good for you, go for it. But for me, I'm going to place my hands on my knees and draw my knees in towards my chest there. Okay, so our inhale lifts the hips up, and then our exhale, we draw our knees in towards our chest there. And we'll do 3 more as that. So inhale, lifts the hips, and then exhale, draws the knees in gently towards the chest. 1 more round. Inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, draws the knees in. So through this practice, we're going to play around with the breath, and what is obvious to you is that when you draw the knees in towards the chest, you exhale because you're pushing the air out. But when we're working with the lymphatic system, we actually do the opposite, because the pressure of the inhale causes a pressure on the abdominal region, which helps the circuitry of the lymphatic system. So it might feel a little bit different because we're so used to doing it the other way around. For this particular practice, it's beneficial. Okay, so we're going to exhale, lift the hips up, and then inhale, draw the knees in towards the chest. And for me, who's very used to doing it with the breath, this definitely feels kind of slightly out of sync, but again, we're doing it for particular benefits today. Okay, so it's exhale to lift, and then inhale to draw the knees in, adding that extra little bit of pressure on the abdominals. Exhale to lift, and inhale to draw in. Last time. Exhale to lift, and inhale to draw in. Okay, so for the next one, you're going to grab your brick there, have it on its lowest height, pop it underneath your hips there, really firmly underneath your sacrum, your pelvis, or you can use your rolled up blanket. So if you don't have a brick, use a rolled up blanket, same position under your hips there. Okay, bring the legs up towards the ceiling, and again, start of your practice, they might not be perfectly perpendicular to the ground there. Adjust your brick if you feel you're falling off it. And then we're going to pump one knee in towards the chest again, and we're going to play around with the breath again. So we're going to inhale here, and then exhale, draw one knee in, draw towards the chest. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to draw it in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen, and then we can kind of go a little bit faster. So exhale to draw it in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And same like we did the last time, we're going to swap the breath now. So exhale will be drawing that knee in. Inhale to the other way around. So inhale draws the knee in, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, great. So gently bring the feet down towards the ground there. Pop your brick out to the side, roll over gently to your right hand side. Bring yourself up to a kneeling position at the top of your mat now. And we'll start into our flows with some cat-cow. So let's just do a regular cat-cow before we go into our lymphatic versions. So inhale, the belly softens down towards the ground. Exhale, lifts the spine up towards the ceiling. Add a little bit of movement to the arms. There are not movement, but grounding down. So in our inhale, the belly softens down towards the ground. Lift the pelvic floor there. Draw your hands gently towards your knees. They're not moving at all. You're pressing them into ground and kind of dragging them back a little bit. And then reaching those shoulders back towards the back of your hips there. Nice and broad through the collarbones. Gentle through the neck there now. A little bit of a chin tuck maybe as you lift the head up. And then exhale, continue to breathe as I give you some alignment cues. Lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Again, lift the pelvic floor. Press into your hands there and push them away from you. Feel the shoulder blades spread across your back there, expanding through the back of the ribs, the back of the respiratory system. And then let's flow with the breath a little bit more smoothly. Inhale, belly softens towards the ground. And then exhale, lifts the spine up towards the ceiling. We'll do 2 more rounds. Inhale, belly softens. And exhale, lifts. Last round, inhale, softens. And exhale, lifts. Now for the next one, you're going to press back into child's pose, and you can have your knees wide for this one just to give you a little bit more space, the toes towards each other behind the hips there. Now I'm going to demo it on the left hand side. You're going to do your right hand side. You're going to inhale, sweep that right arm off, and exhale, just feed it underneath your left arm there and come into a twist. And we're going to flow into that. So inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Palm faces up as you draw it through. So I'll demo it on the other side now again, so you can see it again from the other direction. Inhale, lengthen. You're staying on the right arm reaching. Exhale, twist. So feel that little bit of a twist through the body. Firm those hips back. Keep them in place, particularly that right hip. Make sure it's almost pressing back towards the back of your mat as you reach that right arm through. So really concentrate on firming those hips. And it's like if you hid the upper body, the lower body wouldn't be moving at all, not an inch. So one more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Okay, we'll do the other side now. So you now are going to reach your left arm up. So left arm lifts and exhale, sweeps through, palm facing up. Maybe even have a little look under your shoulder there. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Firm those hips now and exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, reaching and exhale, twisting. Okay, back up to all fours now. Okay, for our next one now, we're going to bring the knees just a little bit close together for balance, not all the way, but certainly not hip height. It's a little bit more challenging. So we're going to lengthen the right leg out here, a nice simple one, and then exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest. So bring the spine into its cat position there, nice and tall through the spine, or lift it through the center of the spine. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bring it through. Inhale, lengthen. Press out through the heel there. Now, it doesn't need to be any higher than hip height there, otherwise we'll bring it into a back bend. So just hip height or lower, and exhale brings it through. Okay, let's reverse the breath now. So exhale here to lengthen, and inhale to squish the abdominal region. Exhale to lengthen, and inhale through. Certainly feels odd for me to do the reverse way, but again, we're working on different benefits today. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale draws it through. Okay, bring the right knee down, and we'll just swap over to the left leg there. So we'll do the inhale first, the way we're used to. Keep those hip bones nicely facing down towards the ground there now. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, drawing it through. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, draws it through. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, draws it through. Inhale to lengthen. We're going to exhale here now, reverse the breath, and inhale, squeeze. Exhale to lengthen, and inhale. Exhale to lengthen, and inhale through. Exhale to lengthen, and then bringing that right leg down. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of child's pose into that. Again, it's just all this pumping action where we're squeezing this whole thoracic region through the different things that we are doing here. Okay, we're going to flow that movement there, and we're going to add child's pose to it, nice and simple. So we're going to inhale again, we're expanding the breath. The breath is expanded, the abdominal region is being squeezed, and we're squeezing it further by pushing back into our child's pose. I have my toes tucked under there, and that's just to give an extra little bit of a squeeze. But if that doesn't suit your feet, absolutely fine to keep the toes from untucked there. Okay, this is our inhale. Our exhale is to lengthen that right leg out. Inhale to bring it in towards the chest. Exhale to lengthen it out. And inhale, press back into our child's pose. Okay, that's our little flow. We'll do them all on the right hand first, and then we'll swap over to the left hand side. So we'll do 2 more on the right and then the full 3 on the left. Okay, inhale, right leg reaches. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, child's pose. Well, that should be an inhale. You got it wrong there. So inhale, child's pose. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, child's pose. Okay, 3 sides, three rounds on the second side. So inhale here. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lengthen, and inhale, child's pose. Inhale here. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, child's pose. 1 more round. Inhale, child's pose. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lengthen, and inhale, back to child's pose. Okay. Okay, so we'll add a little bit of movement to the arms, and we're going to do this kind of pumping action with our fists from a low lunge position. Okay, we'll do a little cat-cow to start. So inhale here. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen right leg away. Exhale, pump it into the midline. And then inhale to lengthen. And exhale, step that right leg forward just to the inside of your right hand now. And if you have your bricks or anything close by, you can place your right hand up on top of that right brick if you want to come a little bit higher up from the ground there, if it's more comfortable on your hip. Okay, so for this one, we're going to reach the left arm up now. We're going to pump the fist 3 times and then sweep it around, okay? So it's going to look like this. Inhale, pump, pump, pump. And then exhale, bring the arm around, and try and keep the arm nice and fluid. You know, if it suits your shoulder better to have a little bit of a bend in the elbow, that's absolutely fine. Again, we're working on this kind of circulatory system today, so it's less kind of crucial that you're you know, that you're really looking at the external shapes you're making. It's the internal circulation that you're looking at today. Okay, so inhale, pump, 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 and exhale, sweep the arm back. Inhale 3 times and exhale. Inhale 3 times and exhale. Okay, and then grab your rolled blanket for the next one. And what you're going to do is we're going to come a little bit further forward. Again, if this bothers your knee, either use another blanket underneath the knee or double your mat over there, because we want to kind of have the hips dropped down just a little bit. Again, we're trying to compress the abdominal region. You're going to get your rolled blanket and you're going to put it in the crease of your hips there, and then just dip forward so that your belly kind of sandwiches that roll into shape there. Okay, so our movement for this one is inhale into cactus position, and then exhale, we're going to bring our hands down the midline in prayer position and just twist to the right hand side and just feel the twist nestling on top of that rolled blanket there. Okay, we'll flow through that 3 times. Inhale into cactus and exhale to twist over the blanket. Inhale into cactus and exhale to twist. Inhale to cactus and exhale to twist. And again, it doesn't matter if that elbow doesn't come all the way down to the knee. It's just the twisting action that you're looking for today. Okay, pop that blanket out to the side. Again, actually, you know, this practice will, because we're working with twists and pressing the abdominal, it will double up and work incredibly well as a digestive boost practice as well. Okay, we'll do that whole flow on the second side now. Inhale, the belly softens down towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen that left leg away. And exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen that leg away again. And exhale, step that left foot just to the inside of the left hand there. Okay, again, if you have a brick close by, you can place your hand on top of that just to give you a little lift if this is a little bit too much flexion for the spine. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing now on the left hand side. We're going to lift that left arm up now, and then we're going to pump the hand 3 times and sweep it back. Lift it on your inhale, pump 2, 3, and sweep it back. Lift it on your inhale, pump 2, 3, and sweep it back. Lift it on your inhale, pump 2, 3, and sweep it back. Okay, we'll move on to our cat-cow belly roll. So again, you might need to creep that front leg forward a little bit so that your hips can come down enough just to hold the blanket in place a little bit. Just, you know, might feel a little, you know, hopefully it won't fall off because we're going to be bending over. So you want to get the hips down so that you've reduced the angle of your hip there, just enough that it nestles into your hip joint there, or your hip crease, not your joint. Okay, again, inhale into our cactus and exhale to twist now to our left. Inhale into cactus and exhale to twist. Inhale into our cactus and exhale to twist. And then pop your blanket down to the side there. Bring that left leg back and find your way into all fours again. Okay, we move on to our next flow now. So we're going to inhale here, the belly softens down towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach that right leg back now. Exhale, pumps it in towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen it again. And exhale, step that right foot just to the inside of the right hand now. We're coming up to a standing lunge, so really make sure that you're nice and wide on the mat, that right foot isn't in the center, otherwise you'll be like on a tightrope when you stand up. Tuck the right toes under, or left toes under, right hand to right knee, lift left knee, and make your way up to your high lunge. Front knee is straight for the first position for this one. We're going to do that little pump with the hands again. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up high, pump the hands 3 times, and then exhale, we're going to sweep the arms back with the hands in fists. Okay, and then inhale, reach the arms up high, pump, 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 and then exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, reach the arms up, pumping the hands, and exhale, sweep the arms back. We'll do one more of them. Inhale, reach the arms up, pump, 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 and exhale, sweep the arms back. Okay, we're going to open up to the side of our mat now. So ground that left foot down, open that left hip out to the left side of your mat and find your way into warrior. So let's sweep our way into warrior on our inhale. Reach the arms back, or the right arm up and over, and then exhale into our warrior pose. Let's bring the hands down to the hips now and just take a little moment to get the legs nice and steady here in our warrior, because we're going to do a little bit of movement through the neck here. basically the lymphatic system, there's particular parts of the body, the neck and the groin in particular, and the abdominal region that have these little pockets of lymph nodes that we're working on. So we're going to do this little movement through the neck to work on the neck one. And then the armpits was this one that we were doing the pumping. It's neck, armpits and groin are the three ones. Okay, so just that back foot, again, it's kind of a 45-degree or out a little bit wider if that suits your hips better. Now, again, there's the actual alignment, and then there is what suits you better. So what the alignment is that front heel intersects the back arch of the left foot. But if that doesn't suit your hips, you come out a little bit wider so that the front heel intersects maybe the back heel of that foot, whatever suits your hips within this and feels good for you. Not every pose structure suits our hips. Our hips are everybody's hips are completely different. Okay, so front knee bent, make sure that that front knee doesn't overshoot that front ankle, and that's one for everyone. Certain alignment cues are kind of the movable feet, and other ones are like recommendations for all. Okay, so legs are nice and firm there. Squeeze into the back of that left hip there. See, can you get those frontal hip bones? They're kind of at the same plane as each other, but this left hip will probably be further forward than this right hip, but they're kind of working towards the side of your mat, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, front knee over front ankle there. Legs nice and happy. Let's reach those arms out. Now you can leave the arms out of this one if they get a little bit too tired for you, but I'll just demo it with the arms out. So basically we're going to just reach the head over to one side and then over to the other. Let's make sure I'm getting the breath right here. Yeah, so it's exhaling over the side. So what we're going to do is inhale up tall and then exhale, just let the ear, that right ear, come down to the right shoulder and tilt the head to the side and lift the chin up a little bit. Inhale to rise up through the spine and exhale to the side. Inhale and exhale. So the head kind of tilts back a little bit and it's like the chin is lifting up. Inhale one more time and then exhale to the side. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the second side. We're going to come all the way down to the ground and do our little movement to the ground first. So both hands to your right knee, come up onto the ball of that left foot, both hands either side of the right foot, bring that left knee down, step that right leg back, and we'll start again. So inhale, belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift that left leg away now, press out through the heel, and exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen it out again, and exhale, step that left foot forward just to the inside of the left hand there. Okay, tuck the right toes under now, getting ready to come up to our high lunge. So we're nice and wide, left to right on our mat, left hand to left knee, lift that right knee up, and coming up to our high lunge. Okay. So front knee is straight and the back leg is straight for the start of this one. Inhale, we're doing our hand fist pump. So pump, 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 and exhale, sweep the arms back, front knee bends. Inhale, straighten that front leg, pump, 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 and exhale, sweep the arms back. Nice and strong through the legs there now. Get the circulation going. Inhale, pump, 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 and exhale, sweep them back. We'll do one more of them. Inhale, reach, pump, 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 and exhale, sweep the arms back. Okay, you're going to stay where you are. I'm going to swap to the end of my mat because I don't want to have my back to you. Now you're going to ground that right foot down now. Come up to our warrior. Let's sweep the arms up, come into it in a nice transition, reach that left arm up and over, and then sweep the arms to shoulder height. Let's bring the hands down to our hips here. Have a little check of our foundation there. So our front knee is stacked over our front ankle. Squeeze into the back of that right hip now. Check the level of our hips there. They're on the same plane this way, but this right hip will be most likely a little bit further forward than the left hip. That's absolutely fine. That back foot is might be at an ankle, or it might be a little bit straighter, just depending on how well your your hips externally rotate. And again, we're all very different. Let's bring the arms up to shoulder height now. This time we're going to tilt the head over to our left-hand side. So inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, tilting to the left. The head comes down, tilts back, and that chin lifts. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to tilt. And it might not be as much of a tilt as mine. I'm just trying to do an exaggerated demonstration. So it might be a much more subtle tilt for you. Inhale to lengthen one more time, and exhale to tilt. Okay, and then inhale here. Let's swing to the front of our mat now. So I'm going to go this way, tilt or pivot that back foot around, both hands either side of the front foot, bring that right knee down now and step the left leg back and find your way to all fours again. Okay, so we'll get ready to go into our next flow here. So we'll start the same way as we have been. We're going to inhale into cat, exhale into cow, inhale, lengthen that right leg away, and exhale, bring the knee in towards our chest. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, going to step that right foot just to the inside of the right hand now. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee up. Both hands are right hand to the right knee to help lift you up to our high lunge. Okay, for this one, we're going to interlace the hands behind our back and reach them away again. It depends on your shoulders. It might feel nice to you to have a little bend in the elbows, or you can have the elbows straight. Just whatever, what we're looking for is that lovely opening through the chest and those lovely triangular shoulder blades drawing together on your back. So whatever feels good for your arms to help find that lovely opening to the front of the chest here. Okay, the same thing, we're going to start with our knee straight for the first one. So we're going to inhale here, and then we're going to exhale, we're going to bend forward and lift the arms up. But we're going to keep that chest nice and open here now. Okay, so you're maintaining that lift, whether the elbows are bent or straight, we're maintaining that lift to keep the chest lovely and open. So inhale, straighten the leg, and then exhale, hinging forward. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend that front knee. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to bend. And we'll do one more. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to bend. Okay, so bring the left hand down to your left hip. We're going to come into our reverse warrior again. So you're going to ground that left foot down, sweep the right arm up and over, and find our way into our reverse. Okay, our next flow is going to be starting with reverse, and then we're going to sweep the arms nice and wide, bring that right elbow down to the right knee and coming into Parsvakonasana side angle. Okay, so that's our flow. We're going to inhale to reverse and exhale. So keep the spine nice and tall here. Nice conscious sweeping of the arms, like you're trying to draw a big wide circle over your head there. Inhale to reverse and exhale. Big breath here now. Inhaling and exhaling. Last round. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, sweep the arm all the way around, pivot that left foot around to the front of your mat. Both hands either side of your front foot, bring that left knee down. Step that right leg back and find our way into all fours again. So we'll start the second side now. Inhale here, exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, sweeps left leg back now. Exhale, brings the knee in towards the chest. Inhale to lengthen it again. And exhale, steps that left foot now just to the inside of the left hand now. Tuck those right toes under, lift right knee, left hand to left knee, press into it to help you come up to your high lunge. Front knee is straight for this one. Interlace the hands behind your back, either bent elbows or straight elbows. What we're looking for is lovely openness through the chest there, those shoulder blades drawing together. And be careful about jutting the chin forward there. So make sure that you're really lengthening through the spine with this lovely open chest. Give the spine the opportunity to be tall here. Inhale to lengthen And exhale, remembering you're trying to keep those shoulders and those shoulders down away from your ears. So be careful they don't bunch up around your ears, and you're reaching the arms away from you, fingers and arms away from you. Inhale to lift and exhale to bend. Press into those feet now. Nice strong legs here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do one more round. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so right hand on right hip there now. You're going to gently ground that left foot down. You're going to sweep the right arm up and over and find your way into your reverse warrior. I am going to move positions now so that I don't have my back to you. So I'm in reverse here, and we're going to flow now from reverse to the position with the elbow on the knee. So this is our inhale. Exhale, those lovely wide sweeping arms, and coming into Parsvakonasana, side angle. Inhale to sweep and exhale, reaching. Inhale to sweep and exhaling. And we'll do one more round of that. So inhale to sweep and exhaling, reaching forward. Okay, sweep that right arm down and around, bring the hand onto the hip there, come up onto the ball of the right foot now, hands either side of the right foot or the left foot, bring that right knee down and find your way back into tabletop position. Okay, so we're going to flow through all of our standing flows, and we're going to join them together for one last little standing flow before we come down onto the ground. Okay, we'll start off as usual with our cat-cow. So inhale here and exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. I'm going to reverse the breath for this one and just to play around with it a little bit. So inhale, lengthen that right leg away, and then exhale here, take a little half, or take an extra half breath. And then inhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Exhale, lengthen it out again. Inhale here to get the breath back to normal again, and exhale, step that right foot just to the inside of the right hand. Tuck the left toes under, right hand to right knee, help you come up. Front knee straight for this one. Inhale, reach the arms up high, pump, pump, pump. And then exhale, bend the front knee, reach the arms back. Inhale, reach the arms up high, pump, pump, pump. And exhale, sweep the arms back. Last round. Inhale, reach the arms up high, pump, pump, pump. And exhale, reach the arms back. Now keep the arms behind you there. We're going to go straight into the second version of our lunge. We're going to interlace the arms, reach the arms back, bent elbows are straight. Inhale here, and then exhale, hinging forward. Inhale to come up, remembering to try and lift those arms up, and exhale to hinge forward. Inhale to come up, and exhaling. Inhale to come up, and now this time we're going to ground that left foot down. I'm going to sweep the right arm up and over into our reverse warrior. And exhale into our warrior. Let's do our little shoulder to our neck tilt. So inhale to lengthen, and exhale to stretch out the shoulder or the neck. Soften the shoulders here. It's very important that the shoulders don't rise up when we're working with the neck. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to open. Inhale to lengthen and exhaling. And then we'll do our flows with the arms. So inhale to circle the arms into reverse, and exhale, coming forward. Inhale to reverse, and exhale, sweeping forward. Last time, inhale to reverse, and exhale, coming forward. Sweep the arm all the way around. Pivot that left foot back to the front of the mat. Hands either side the front foot, bring that left knee down, bring the right leg back, and find your way into all fours. Last flow now, second side. Inhale into cat and exhale into cow. Inhale, reach that left leg away, take an extra exhale here. Inhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, and exhale, reach that leg back. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step that left foot just to the inside of the left hand here. Tuck right toes under, lift right knee up, but left hand to left knee. Inhale, reach the arms up high. front knee straight, pump, pump, pump. Exhale, hinging forward, bend that front knee. Inhale, reach, pumping the hands, and exhale, bending. Inhale to reach, last time, pump, 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 and exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale to reach, go sweep the arms behind you now. We're going to interlace them, open the chest, and exhale, hinge. Inhale, lengthen, lift those elbows, lift those hands, and exhale, keep them lifted. Nice open through the chest there. Inhale to lengthen. It's a good exercise to remembering to keep the spine nice and tall, even though we're hinging forward. Inhale to lengthen. This time now we're going to bring our right hand to our right hip, ground that right foot down, bend the front knee, sweep the left arm up and over, and find your way into, you stay where you are, into our warrior, reverse warrior on the left, with the left leg forward now. Okay, keep the feet where they are, the leg, front knee bent, left leg straight, or right leg straight. Lengthen the arms out now here. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, and exhale, just let the neck gently lengthening through the right side of the neck there. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, tilt, and look up a little bit. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to tilt. Now inhale to lengthen, and we're going to come into our reverse, and exhale, sweep the arms up and over. Inhale to lengthen, lift, and exhale to sweep, second round. Inhale, sweeping the arms nice and wide. Take a big deep breath here, and exhale, coming forward. And then inhale to reach the arms up high again, pivot that back foot around. Exhale, hands either side the front foot, bring the right knee down, step that left leg back, and find your way into all fours at the front of your mat. Now swing the legs forward here. We're coming down to our seated flow now, and get ready with your rolled blanket. So have your rolled blanket, we had it earlier, so just make sure it's still nice and firm here. What we're going to do again is use the blanket to take a little bit more of a squeeze into the abdominal region. So we're going to try and nestle the blanket. Let's see what would be the best way to demo. Nestle the blanket into our hip crease there, and we're going to bring our right knee in. Okay, so hug that knee there, stay up nice and tall through the spine. Feel that the little bit of pressure on the abdominal region of the rolled blanket there. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, twisting to your right hand side. And as you twist, bring yourself a little bit further forward and squeeze your whole abdominal region in your digestive system into the blanket there now. It doesn't have to be your deepest twist. We'll demo it from the front. Now I have my right knee bent. I'm not mirroring you, so you will have your right knee bent too, and you are twisting to the right hand side. Again, you know, we haven't done lots of twists today, so it's not going to be your deepest twist in the world, but we're just pressing this whole area into the blanket there. And we're using our arm. This is our prop. Well, we have a blanket, but this is our prop here. We're using a little bit of the strength of that arm to help to twist the spine into the blanket there. Keep that left leg nice and strong. And breathe. Let's see, can we play around with the breath again here? And actually, this is a really good demonstration of why the inhale helps with the whole circulation of the lymphatic system. Because notice now when you take a really deep inhale, that actually the pressure does increase on that whole lower region there. So take a deep inhale. And then exhaling again. Another deep inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhaling. Okay, so lengthen your right leg out there now. I'll demo it from the side and then I'll swing around. So you're going to nestle the blanket now into the crease of your left hip there. You're going to bring the leg up, hug it in, try and keep even though you've got a blanket in the way there, keep that lower the pelvis nice and tall. Think of, you know, the sit bones, those bones, the bottom of the pelvis, And then these bones at the top, they're all stacked on top of each other. So a lovely upright position for the pelvis. So this is my inhale here. And then I'm going to exhale. I'm going to twist to the left-hand side now. So I have my left leg up. And adjust your props there as needed. I'm twisting to my left now. Okay, and then also this hand behind my back is a great little prop to keep the spine nice and tall. Make sure the shoulders don't come around your ears. Send that right shoulder back and down. Taking our deep breaths here. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And one last time, inhaling and exhaling. And lengthen that left leg away now. So we're going to do a little bit of work again on the lymphatic nodes within the neck here. So I'd like you to see, can you find a comfortable seated position? I know everybody has different preferences with how they sit. So you can, I think it's always good to sit the hips up on something. So I'll give you a few and you can choose one. So first option is to get the hips a little bit higher on a brick there. You can see it underneath me there. Or it can be a rolled up blanket if you don't have a brick. And then you're going to bring your right foot in. So I'll mirror you for this one. No, I'm not going to mirror you because I'm going to be twisting the head. So it's better if I don't. So you're going to bring your right foot in. And then you're going to put your left foot down in front of it, okay? So Siddhasana, the feet are kind of nestled into each other there, okay? So that's your kind of basic cross-legged position. And if this doesn't suit your hips, you can take a version where you are, well, actually, the next version is kind of hard on the knees, but you basically put the block in between your hips there, are between your legs there, and sit back. This is a really good one if your knees can take it, because it allows you to keep the pelvis much more upright. It's the one that I would usually use when I'm trying to work a little bit with the breath, because I do find that my spine curls forward if I'm sitting in cross-legged for too long. Let's see, what else can I give you? So you've got that one. And then actually, do you know what, the most easiest one you can take if this is not working for you, if the hips are up too high and the knees don't work, the other one is just to come into this position with the legs forward and tilt the pelvis forward there, hands to the tops of the knees there, and hopefully this is one that is very user friendly. Okay, so pick whichever version. Seeing as I'm in this position, I'm going to stay with Siddhasana, so this one here. Okay, so again, lengthening up nice and tall through the spine. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one, again, I'm not going to mirror you, so listen to my cues a little bit more than following me visually. So you're going to lengthen through the spine on your inhale, and then you're going to exhale really gently, and it doesn't have to be a very big twist here. You're going to twist to your right hand side. Okay, and then we're going to do a little bit of tilts with the neck here. So on your inhale, you're going to tilt your head to the left shoulder there. And on your exhale, you're going to tilt it to the right shoulder. And just to the point where you feel a lovely gentle stretch through the muscles and the tissues at the side of your neck there. Okay, that's what we're looking for, gentle sensations here. And, you know, backing away from any noises, definitely, that your neck is making. You know, sometimes if you hear the bones hitting, so making sure that you're going really gently with this one. It's just a gentle opening or a stretch sensation we're looking for. Okay, so let's do 3 rounds. Inhale, tilt to the left, and exhaling, tilt to the right. Bring the chin down. I'll add little layers to it as we go. Inhale, tilt, and bring the ear to the left. And then it's good also to come up through center, just even for a millisecond, and then come down to the right. Inhale, open, left, and exhale, right. So for me, that one, just something lovely, just the one where you tilt your head down to the right shoulder. I find there's these ropey muscles at the back of the neck there where I definitely hold a lot of tension, and it can be an area that a lot of tension headaches come from. So that's a really lovely one to do if you know that you're someone that kind of headaches come from the back of your head, is literally tilting your head. And again, if you have a headache, you go really gently with this one, tilting your head to the right hand side, to the right neck. And it's obviously it's not coming all the way over, it's more of a towards type of an action. And then gently letting the chin drop down towards the ground. And it doesn't take much of a tilt until you feel that lovely opening through the back of the neck there. For the purpose of what we're doing though, we also are tilting the whole head to the left, to the right hand side. Whereas with the version where you're working with the back of the neck, you're not tilting it to the side, you're just literally dropping it down. Okay, so there's two slight differences there. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the second side now. So inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, twist to your left hand side. Okay, everyone twisting to the left now. Again, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, just dropping the head to the right shoulder now. And exhale, dropping it to the left. And that little bit of a chin tuck as well. Inhale to the right. And exhale to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. And we'll do one more. Inhale to the right. And exhale to the left. And I'll just demo the neck stretch for this one. Again, a little bit different. Well, the main difference being you don't drop your head, you just tilt the chin down. Okay, so inhale to lengthen, and then exhale. And you drop it a tiny bit actually, but it's not as pronounced as the other one. Just letting the chin dip down towards the ground until you feel that nice stretch through the back of the neck there. Okay, and then back to center again. Maybe just drawing little circles on the ceiling with the tip of your head, the tip of the crown there, and then lengthening through the crown. Okay, and we're going to do one more thing now. We're going to do some fist pumping from a seated position. So we are going to inhale to fist pump to the right and the left. Now I will marry you for this one. I think I can manage my lefts and rights on this one. So we're going to inhale to the right, pump 3 times, and exhale back to center. Inhale to the left, pump, 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 and exhale back to center. Inhale right, we'll do 3 rounds, pump, 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 exhale back to center. Inhale left, pump, 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 and back to center. Inhale right, pump, 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 back to center. And inhale left, pump, 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 and back to center. Now that is all your fist pumping and abdominal pressing. Well, we'll do a little bit more abdominal pressing. We're done for the moment. We're going to come down to the ground for our little bit of one restorative pose and our Shavasana. So for this, we're going to, again, no prizes to get. We're going to press on the tummy. So we're going to do a pose where the blanket. So what we're looking for is your blanket. We want it to be, if you have a look at me from the side there, this is my pointy hip bone here. This is my last rib. I want my blanket to be in this soft region here, all this soft abdominal region when I come down to lying. So I want it really pressing into, I don't want the sit bones, these front pointy sit bones, to interfere with how the blanket is pressing into my abdominal organs there. So maybe even have a little kind of play around with the position of it, come down to all fours, and then coming all the way down to the ground and just checking again where it is. Maybe rocking from side to side to make sure that you're happy with the position of it, that you can feel sensation in the abdominal organs there, that extra little bit of pressure. And then any position that feels good for you. So the arms, for me, I find it quite nice to have just, you know, the elbows out to the side, the arms stacked, and then the forehead on the stacked hands there. The knees, just let the feet drop out to the side, the heels drop out to the side, and the legs are totally relaxed. And then take some deep inhales here, like we were doing. We were playing around with the inhale and how that increases pressure on the abdominal region. And feel for that extra little bit of pressure there into the blanket. So feel yourself pressing more obviously into the blanket on your inhale. And then exhale, it gets a little bit lighter. Okay, so letting the body now just restore. And take a few more breaths here before we come into Shavasana. So make them nice, deep, even breaths, but not forcing the breath in any way, nice, the gentle breaths. Okay, gently lift the head up there, plant the hands either side of your chest, and then gently lift yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. And we're going to come into our Shavasana now. Okay, so what will be nice, actually, we have one more little thing to do, but have your put your layers on. Stay nice and warm. So if you have top socks, put everything on now. Have your blanket close by to you and put that across you there when we come into our. In fact, you could pop it across you now. We just one more pumping action to do with the feet before. So actually, if you look up towards me, it's nothing majorly complicated. But just if you have a look up towards me, you're going to bring yourself into Shavasana. And then all you're going to do is just pump through the feet there. So it's just pointing and flexing them, but it's kind of like fast action, pointing and flexing them. I'm just breathing normally. We're not going to mirror movement with breath. Otherwise, we'd be moving our breath way too fast. So just pumping and pointing and flexing the feet. And feel the whole body moving as you do this. Okay, and then point the feet away. Maybe even flex the feet. And then just let the feet drop out to the sides. And coming into your Shavasana. Okay, so really let the body submit to gravity here. Let every single muscle of your body relax, and maybe even tapping into those areas that were working hard for you today. Maybe you needed your little bit of concentration, so let the brain relax here. Come to the breath to give it a single point of focus. Those legs might have been working for you for some of the standing poses. Make sure that there's no holding of the legs. Let them really drop out to the sides. Maybe even scan through your legs from the top of your toe all the way to your hips there. Just rooting around and seeing is there any little habitual patterns of gripping. And just gently tell them that it's time to relax now. It's time to just restore your energy for the rest of the day. Okay, so I'm going to close the class off here. If you'd like to stay for an extra little bit of Shavasana, stay exactly where you are. Otherwise, if you're ready to move on with your day, rolling over to your right-hand side and gently bringing yourself to a seated position. Hands in prayer position at your heart. Thumbs to your third eye, to your heart center. Namaste. And thank you for practicing with me.